Hello, viewers. This is Michael from Screen Reviews, bringing you a new podcast from myself called the Super Sentai Review. And like always, I'm going to speak very loudly, very clearly, and very slowly in case you don't understand me. Also, I try to do my best not to breach your heart during this audio podcast recording as well, not to cause any audio feedback as well. And finally, if you're under 18, this audio podcast recording will attain to adult language. Once again, if you're under 18, this audio podcast recording will attain to adult language if you're under 18. Now, if you're over 18, that means you let the watch this audio podcast recording. So anyway, with this and everything else, let's get into the final episode of Donbrothers. So basically, this episode starts off like this. So basically, it starts off 7 months into the future. So basically, we see Harawa, the Yellow Ranger. We see Harawa, the Yellow Ranger, at this big award ceremony, getting a award for her manga series called Donbrothers, based off her lives as based off her and the others' lives as Rangers. So basically, she's finally a major hit manga artist and whatnot 7 months into the future. We see all the Rangers set for Taro, and we see all the Naho. We see the Minmay trio as well at the award ceremony, but Momotaro is not there. Then we cut back 7 months. Then we cut back 7 months later, 7 months in the past, where we see Momotaro talking to his coworkers at his delivery job, and he's starting to act a bit, acting very funny towards his coworkers. Basically, he's starting to forgetting who they are, and basically that's when Mortal laughs, and he started to go around asking each of the Rangers that, do you have any regrets of being a Ranger in the Donbrothers? So basically, he asked Harawa first, and she said, no. At first, I was scared of my witch when I got my Ranger powers, but this experience has changed me a bit. Then he had Shinji, the Blue Ranger, the same question. It's like, I had no regrets of being a Ranger in the Donbrothers. Then he went to go see Isba, and but turns out that Isba's girlfriend Matsuri is tired of Isba not displaying what the hell is going on, why you refuse this from the law, what's going on with you, she's tired of him not giving her answers. So basically, that's what Matsuri decided to maybe. I'm grateful that you saved me, saved me all, but, you've been closed off lately. I think it's time that we should call it quits. And basically, Matsuri broke up with Isba, and basically, even though Isba felt like, he went all that trouble to save Matsuri, he took the break as best he could, and Momotaro asked him that, oh, who was that? Who was that you talking to? And basically, Isba said, no, that's my girl. That was my former girlfriend. So basically, it's what the hell is going on with you? So basically, it's after Momotaro's question, even though I was basically was a fugitive running for the law and whatnot, but I do not regret being a Ranger. I do not regret being a Ranger in the Donbrothers. So basically, he went to go see Ichoshi at his apartment, and Ichoshi was packing up his apartment and moving somewhere else after to, moving to somewhere else and whatnot. And basically, Moto is like, who's that girl? Like, who's that girl in the picture? Like, and Yoshi, well, it's just she said, Moto, that was the beastie who was posing as Matsumi that I married. The beastie who was posing as Matsumi that I married and whatnot. So basically, like, so basically, if Yoshi was asked the same, so basically, when Power asked him the same question, and basically, like, back, and Yoshi said, "I do not regret being a Don. I do not regret being a Ranger or whatnot." So basically, like, basically he asked you. So basically, he went to go ask, Joe and whatnot. He said the same thing. They already responded, even though they went through hard times as Rangers, that they don't regret being Rangers in the Donbrothers and whatnot. So basically, Molto just left each of them and basically started his memory started to go out, and everybody was worried about it. So all the Rangers was worried about what the hell is going on with Molto. He seems a little forgetful lately. So anyway, meanwhile, we see Sungo, which is watching this hooded lady, and Baby turns out this hooded lady is Sanna, one of the high ranks, I believe, could be a high rank, could be the main. One of the main bosses. Sungo is one of the main bosses. It's like, it says like, Sungo, I'm here to execute you, and basically Sungo is running for her life. Meanwhile, Walk was doing somewhere else in the city. We see Walk, messing with a hooded guy. Turns out this hooded guy was a member named Sanya. Sanya was a guy named Sanya. So basically, he was there to execute Sun York, and basically, like, for their affairs and whatnot, not doing their jobs, taking down the Donbrothers. So basically, they're going to execute the whole anti-Minmay trio. Then the Donbrothers and the original Minmay trio. So basically, everybody all the Rangers went to go talk to Black Hido and like, what the hell is going on with Taro? He seemed very forgetful. What's wrong with Motaro? He seems very forgetful all of a sudden. So basically, well, that's the way he is. So basically, like, turns out that when Jiro finally got himself together, it started a secret of Motaro losing his memory because of that. So basically, when Jiro finally got his personalities, together and fused into one personality, it started this process that Motaro is losing his memories, or all the people that all the things that he experienced, all the people that he met will be permanently wiped from his mind, and basically there's nothing that any of you guys can do with that, and basically and so I was like, oh, that's what, Kate hurt everything. It's like, that's fucked up. So basically, that's the reason why I joined that party in the first place, cause he ain't gonna remember. So basically, to get you time to enjoy your time with Motaro as a kid, because he won't remember any of you guys once his memory is fully erased and whatnot. So basically we see Jin managed to spend some time with Motaro. Motaro having a rice bowl and whatnot, and basically Motaro's memory is starting to really go and whatnot. So basically, after he had the rice bowl with Jin, Jin sent him back to the regular world, and basically it had them spend time with the rest of the Rangers and Sunai. So anyway, meanwhile, Sanna and Shanya managed to execute Sun York and Sun Go. So basically, they took their powers, they took their armor powers from them and used their powers against them, and basically destroyed them, and they turned into like digital dust and whatnot. So basically, Sungo and Sun York are basically they're just dead. So basically they went after Sun City. Who was ruling a wedding, and basically gave Sun City a head start to run. Gave Sun City the head start to run. So basically Sun City bumped into Sansa and Sun Omi, and basically was begging for the help, but it was too late. Shanna and Shanya ended up killing Shanchichi. Shanchichi just turned into digital dust, and basically all the members of the anti-memory trio are all dead. So basically, Sansa and Sun Omi are just trying to deal with this. Was trying to deal with these two powerful members all by themselves, and try not to suffer the same fate as Sun Chichi and others. So basically, the rest of the others was at the ramen cart, was during their time with Motaro and whatnot. And basically Motaro's memory is basically was pretty much going at this point, and basically hopped in his delivery van and just drove off. And basically that's when they got word got a signal from Sun Omi about what the hell was going on right now. And basically they went to go help Sansa and Sun Omi to fight the two powerful bosses and whatnot. So basically they all transformed into their Ranger forms, and their armor forms and whatnot, and basically tried to fight these two powerful generals, these two powerful bosses by themselves, as together, while Motaro, but they was getting their asses kicked. So basically, we see Taro at Black Kaido's coffee shop, and basically Black Kaido handed him a envelope that Future Hadawa left behind, documenting all the events of his adventures with the others as Rangers and whatnot. So basically, thanks to Kaido giving him that manga that documents all that happened to him, as a Ranger and whatnot, and all the things that they did as Rangers. Moto managed to gain his memory back, and basically gain his memory back. It seemed like, managed to gain his memory back temporarily to help the other Rangers take down the two final bosses of the membrane. So basically Motaro and the Naho trio, did a final team Motaro together, and basically Motaro using his sword unleashed a powerful attack that took down the two bosses of the Cerebrine, and basically by doing so he ended up disappearing, and basically Motaro basically seems like he ended up using his power, using all his powers to take down the Midway Trio. To take down the two bosses of the three brains. So basically, after once he did that, Momotaro just all of a sudden disappeared without a trace. Then we cut to seven. Then we cut to. Then we cut to seven. A few months later, we see that Isabel and somehow or a couple and still wanted or a couple fugitive wanted by the police. We see Matsuri, Isabel's ex-girlfriend. It seems like she's going out with Yoshi. We see that Shinji is still writing his poetry. We see that Jill's doing okay. Jill's going okay, and basically they all ended up at except for Black Kaido, they all ended up at Haru's, at Haru's manga award ceremony and whatnot, celebrating her best-selling manga based on her and the others' adventures as Donbrothers. So basically, after the award ceremony, she was at her house, she was at her apartment, where she lives with her aunt, basically drawing the manga drawing the manga of Donbrothers series that she based off her experience and the others' experience as rangers and whatnot. And basically, so basically, there was a ring at the door, and basically, she went to go answer the ring at the door. It turned out it was a package. It was a delivery man. It turned out it was tall, and he said that I think and he said to her that I think that we are meant to. I think that we born to meet again. And basically, this is how the episode ended on that note with Mortaro delivering a package after he disappeared for 7 months, showing up delivering Haru a package at her apartment and saying that I think that we are born to meet each other again. And basically Haru just smiled, and basically this is how the episode this is how the final episode ends on this note. So basically, I think this whole episode is just. This final episode is basically, the way this final episode ended is bullshit. This is real bullshit, the way I hear this. The way this final episode wrapped things up, it did it in a bullshit way. So anyway, I'm not gonna go on any rant. So basically, I'm gonna say that for my final overview of the series. So basically, this is the point. This is how the series ended. What do you guys think of the final episode of Donbrothers? Good, bad, or just okay? To me, this final episode was bullshit. So anyway, signing off. 1.